I want to share with you one of the reasons I think really good Christian couples move from these fantastic loverships into these dry, painful functionships. And it can actually start at the wedding. When you are dating, you assume the role of lover. Now, what do lovers do? They love, okay? So you show up in your role, you say positive things to the person you're dating. You actually care about their day. You ask them what's going on with you. How did that go? Did you talk to this person or your professor or your friends or how'd that work out for you? You talk about their life. You talk about their goals spiritually, financially, education, careers, children, if you want to have them. You get into all these topics and you are very focused on them. You're not so much focused just on you. You sacrifice time and energy without any complaints. Some people drive hours to see them, to go somewhere to have a good time. And you think of how to bring like pleasure and joy into this person's life. Often you're very physically attentive with them, praising them, touching them, constantly reaffirming them, holding their hand, hugging them, reaffirming that you love just them. You're a student of them, learning how they think, how they feel, what they like, how they like to be loved, what they like to do. And you even join them in those things, even if you've never done them before, because it brings that person pleasure. You do this all happily because you are a lover, and that is your role in their life. You want to give them so much positive reinforcement that they don't want to be with anyone but you, because they like you, because you're into their life, right? Then you spend all this time and money, and you gather your friends and family, and you say your vows to love, honor, and cherish them. And then the pastor or priest says these words: I now pronounce to you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you are now husband and wife. Kiss the bride. And we all love that scene. I mean, I've been a pastor, I've done marriages, and I love that. It's a happy scene, right? Now, at this point in your heart and mind, you can flip a switch. You now have a different role than lover. You have to be a good Christian wife and a good Christian husband. So you go back through your Bible teachings, your premarital books, you look at your parents' marriages and what you like and don't like, and you conjure up your role of what a good husband is, what a good wife is. And my experience is that the person usually picks things that they're naturally good at. He might say, well, if I work hard and provide enough money, keep the toilet seat down, I'm a really good husband. And as long as those three things are done, he really thinks he's a really good husband. She thinks over her readings, experiences, and her parents' marriage, well, if I keep the house clean, if I look pretty, if I don't spend a lot of money, I'm a really good wife. Now, they pick these measures based on their roles, and they focus their energy on this new role of being husband and wife. Now, over time, those clothes, those lover feelings, and those lover feelings start to fade because they're not focused on being a lover. They're focused on being a wife or husband. And over time, both of their needs for touch, for romance, for sensuality, not sexuality, just that playfulness that goes with being lovers, playing together, having fun together, that starts to fade. And they both will often think the other person is the problem because why? They're doing such a good job on the three things they made up that make them to be good as a husband or a wife. So they're really confused because on the three things, they get an A+. But those three things as roles as a husband or wife can totally leave the person dissatisfied, alone and empty over years and decades. And I see this happen so much. You know, when my daughter asked me to do her wedding, I warned them about this. So when it came to pronouncing, I now proclaim you husband and wife, I said this: I now pronounce to you, lovers for life, husband and wife. Because I really wanted them to know deeply that what you're really committing to is not the role of husband and wife. What you are committing to is to continuing your role as their lover for the rest of your life. That's what you're committing to. And so many people miss that even on the wedding day because they walk down, past everybody in the crowd, and now they're husband and wife, and they've got to figure out new roles. I would suggest stay in the role you're in and learn how to manage the other things.
For more content and resources to help in your healing journey with Christ, make sure to follow Dr. Doug Weiss on Facebook and Instagram. If you'd like to share full episodes of this show with friends and family, subscribe to Healing Time Ministries on YouTube, and feel free to leave us a comment on any of Dr. Doug's social media platforms. Our team would love to hear your feedback and learn how Healing Time is impacting your life, your church, and your ministry.